1973, Little Rock, Arkansas. The world of logistics was about to witness a funeral. Federal Express, a company built on a dream of overnight delivery, was dying. The massive plane stood like expensive tombstones on the tarmac, grounded not by weather but by a mountain of debt. In the dark of night, founder Fred Smith stared at a single number: $5,000. That was all that remained of a multi-million-dollar venture. By Monday, the fuel bill would come due. If he didn't pay, the fleet would be seized. FedEx would be over before it truly began. To go back to Yale. In 1965, Fred Smith wrote a paper that proposed something radical. Instead of packages hitching rides on passenger planes, he suggested a central hub, a hub-and-spoke system. The logic was simple: every package goes to one center at night, gets sorted, and flies back out. It was faster, more efficient, and completely unheard of. His professor gave him a C. The grade wasn't just a critique, it was a warning. The world wasn't ready for Fred Smith's vision. But Smith didn't care about grades. He launched Federal Express in 1971, but then the 1973 oil crisis hit. Fuel prices didn't just rise, they exploded, tripling in a matter of months. Every mile flown was a financial wound. FedEx was losing $1 million a month. Investors, once eager, now looked the other way. By that fateful Friday in 1973, Fred Smith was a man standing on the edge of a cliff. Most CEOs would have called the liquidators. Most men would have surrendered. Fred Smith took the remaining $5,000, the company's last breath, and boarded a plane to Las Vegas. At the blackjack table, the air was thick with desperation. He wasn't just playing for money, he was playing for the jobs of every pilot, every sorter, and every driver back in Memphis. He pushed every chip to the center. He bet on the impossible. By Monday morning, that $5,000 had turned into $27,000. It wasn't enough to save the company, but it was enough to buy one more week of fuel. That week was the miracle he needed. With the fleet still flying, Smith secured $11 million in new funding. The C paper was finally proving its worth. By 1976, FedEx saw its first profit. By the 80s, FedEx became a verb. He took a failing logistics company and turned it into an $80 billion global empire. He didn't just build a business, he redefined time itself. Today, FedEx moves millions of packages a day, but it all traced back to that one weekend in Vegas. The lesson: when the world gives you a C, when the oil dries up, and when you're down to your last $5,000, don't look for the exit, look for the gamble. If you want to dive deeper into the mind of Fred Smith, I highly recommend Overnight Success. Link is in the description. This is Weird True Central. Subscribe to witness the stories that built the world. Until next time.